Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
All right, we're back. How you doing? My name is Stephen Rochester. You're back with another episode, and today I have a very special guest, my guy Ayo Macaulay from London, not London, England, London, Ontario, and we're here to chat about, his journey coming through real estate and starting, in IT, and what that means and whatnot. So I don't want to give too much. I kind of want to interview you as I interview everybody else, which is just ask those questions I think everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So before we even get into that, thank you very much for having me on. It's always a good thing I'm a new realtor. This is exposure for me.
Right.
Appreciate it, first of all, before we even get into anything.
Beautiful.
And so from Nigeria, yes. I remember my application to come to Canada took about 20 months.
20 months.
So it was just like, you know what? Do we use this 20 months to wallow in despair, or do we use it to learn something that we can use
right
when we get to Canada? And during my research, I found that I'd say three major things you can do in Canada to really do very well. And one of them was real estate.
Right.
And it was
even before you decide, your profession, right? So I think the question is why Canada? Why'd you even decide to come to Canada versus the States?
Yeah.
Versus I have a lot of family in across seas there in England, London, England specifically. So why choose Canada?
The simplest answer, we hadn't gotten married yet, but my wife to be was here, and she was like, "Look, man, you better come." And it's just part of my life where when life gives me a direction, I just don't fight it.
Okay.
Instead of trying to run away, might as well just get as much knowledge as I can to make that pathway a lot easier if I'm going to take it. So it was more like, get it done. Doesn't matter. If she had said somewhere else, I'd probably still have gone, because that's how much trust we have. So get it. So
you're in Nigeria. You have wifey. You're dating. You're not married yet. You guys pick up and you leave.
Yeah. She was in Nova Scotia for about 3 years by then. Then she moved to Ontario, and then even I remember a funny story. So I produced, wrote, and financed a film called Taxi Driver.
Wow.
And I had applied to come to Canada to come see her, but I got denied for some reason. And then the film got picked up by the Toronto International Film Festival, and we had a Netflix deal.
No way.
All of a sudden.
Hold on. What's it called?
Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Okay. And this what kind of movie is this exactly?
It's like a dark comedy. So
dark comedy. Okay.
So I think we just finished our run with Netflix. We're on Amazon Prime and some other guys right now. But
that's crazy. So
instead, when I applied again, saying, "Oh, hi guys, they just invited us to the film festival." Right. Well, okay, yeah, film festival. Come over and use the opportunity to go see my wife. And then it was during that visit, she was like, "Man, look, you have to come over."
Yeah, just obviously being here and seeing, the environment and whatnot, and the opportunities, I'm sure.
Yeah, I remember the specific day. I was pumping. We stopped at the gas station, and she was like, "Go pump gas so you know how to do it when you come here."
Right.
Because in Nigeria,
they're already setting you up to work, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because in Nigeria, you get gas gets pumped for you.
Right.
So you just sit in your car.
And you tip them? Is tipping culture a big thing out there?
No, we don't tip at all.
No? Okay.
No, we don't tip at all unless we're under some stress.
Right.
But basically, I hadn't pumped gas in my entire life before, so that was like my first time. She was like, "You know what? Use the opportunity to to get ready."
Okay, so fast forward, you guys land here, right? You do your application, all the stuff that you have to do to get your residency, right? What was next? What was kind of your plan on supporting your family, soon to be, getting educated, obviously? Now, question for you: back in Nigeria, back home, were you educated there? Did that transfer over to, the laws are different here and the education system's different, obviously. So, have doctors from India or wherever, they come here and they're not able to practice, right? Was that were you similar in that sense or no?
No, I had finished university from Babcock University.
Got it.
I, instead of doing my master's, just decided to go into business at the age of 19. So I had that preparation of whether it was going to be a job or a business pretty much good to go. But because I had been doing IT in Nigeria, my brothers-in-law were like, just go back to school, get your
Here.
certifications, because that's what's happening in Canada.
Right.
And then
And what's
move into-
needed, right?
Exactly.
1,000%.
Exactly. And then from IT, my
So
20s
what's IT? Because my mother, funny story, like we have family that, you pick up a computer, they automatically think you're in IT.
Yeah.
Right? So what is IT exactly for those that don't know?
So information technology, simplest way to look at it is how to make computers and networks and infrastructure in general work properly, whether it's on a small scale or an enterprise level. So I had done small scale to enterprise level,
Right.
And then in Canada, put your certifications towards that and then show them that you can do from small scale to enterprise level.
So were you more on a product development or more on the engineering of a computer kind of side?
A little bit of both, because
Right.
I could put computers together. I
Right.
could pretty much do everything that I needed to do. I could network, I could teach to a certain extent. And that's why when I came, it didn't really take that much time to get my certs. It was like within a year, while I was
Right.
still going to school and doing other things and running certain other businesses on a small scale.
Yeah.
Because
You need 7 incomes to survive out here. So you need to do a
yeah.
couple of things out here, right?
That's kind of what I realized when I was waiting for my visa, my PR to arrive. Those
Right.
20 months, it was like, look, let's be objective here. Thankfully, I had been well traveled. My
Right.
family had taken me to quite a few different places. But the realities of Canada, if you come unprepared, you will
tough.
get chewed up.
It's tough out here. It's tough out here for people that are born here. Right? So
Exactly.
imagine being an immigrant and coming here and not being set up.
Exactly.
Right.
You need to know exactly what you need to do. You might not get the full picture,
Right.
but at least have some leading lights that you can follow to where you want to be. Because if you don't, then you just end up in this spiral. And it doesn't matter if it's Canada or any other country you choose to emigrate to.
Yeah.
It's just the same. You need to be prepared.
So where did you get that from? Because again, I have a lot of friends out here, family out here. Again, they're born here. They may not take the opportunities that are presented to them, right? So, what in you made you want to, strive for something bigger than what was out there, especially for us, right? Like, what was that? Was that back home? Was that your family teaching?
Back home, family teaching experiences. So
Right.
my mom retired as the head of a bank, first off.
Okay.
So massive deal. First off, I had a lot to live up to. My parents, very industrious, my brothers, my sisters. So I started business officially at the age of 19, right after school.
Right.
So by the time I was moving to Canada, I had like 10 years of experience
Okay.
of working and running business.
Right.
So it was like, look, you already know what to do.
So you came here with confidence.
Exactly. You know what to do. Don't mess around. Be very realistic. Get this thing done.
Right.
This is the time frame. Don't waste anyone's time.
Right.
This is how I speak to myself.
Yeah.
In a very loving way,
1000%.
in quotes, get this thing done, follow the path, and you're not going to know everything.
Yeah.
So be humble,
Be okay to
learn.
fail.
Exactly, and get it done.
Right. All right. So what year is this now? You're in IT. You're working there for X amount of years, right? I'm sure you have a decent salary. You can support your family and yourself. Where did that I want something more thing happen where you took the dive into real estate?
Oh, it was well before I even landed in Canada.
Right.
It was a set track. Like, you want to have a solid foundation.
You want to make some money?
Yeah, you want to make some money. You want to invest. You want to take care of your family. You want to have that baseline.
Right.
You need real estate either as a career or as an investor. So I came in with the investor mindset.
Got it.
Were
you an investor before getting licensed?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
okay.
was. So basically, I'd seen these guys.
And I don't mean a pocket watch, but explain.
Yeah.
Did you buy your first home, your primary residence?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
bought our first home in London, St. Thomas area.
Why choose London? Cheaper.
That was 20 months of research. You
Yeah.
know? So I looked at Toronto.
20 months of research before you figured out East End, West End, Barrie, London, downtown.
Yeah.
Did you look at downtown?
Oh yeah, looked at downtown. In fact, 1 week after I landed, I had a gig with the City of Toronto downtown.
Right.
So it was like, you already know what to do. But at the end of the day, if I was going to be realistic, I was watching some guys called one guy called Matt McKeever and Aditya Kumasumar, guys in London, Windsor, the area, and I was like, look, I'm not going to Toronto. I'm not spending this much money as a new immigrant in Toronto
For
to
one
get a
bedroom.
place for a one bedroom.
Right.
I need something that has a good chance of appreciation that I can pull cash out of and use to, grow my portfolio.
So you already had that investor mindset.
Exactly. It's not happening in Toronto. It's not like I didn't want to.
It's not impossible, but it's damn near impossible.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not getting a mortgage for 1.5 million.
Right.
In my first year or second year.
Yeah, you got to show a little bit of a history before you get that.
Exactly.
Right.
So use that time, and we ended up in London. Then we ended up in St. Thomas.
Got it.
Because London was becoming by the time I'd landed and I was tracking the trajectory of prices and the migration, London had started to take out of my box. It was getting more populated.
Right.
It was most places were getting less family friendly. It's the student capital of Ontario, if I'm not mistaken. And so what's the next place? Once this place gets saturated, what will a very motivated buyer, where will a very motivated buyer go to?
Expand, right?
Just expand. Same thing with Toronto. Toronto got full. Then you had Mississauga, Brampton, Milton was the last to blow up in quotes, and then you started moving over to Hamilton. So use that same strategy. London is full. Where do you go to? And then I looked at the real estate board, and it's called the London St. Thomas Real Estate Board. So it's not an unknown anymore. So you know what to do. Do your homework in St. Thomas, and get it done.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it worked out.
So you purchased your first property in London. You hold that for X amount of years. You pull out, and we'll get into like the actual background, is like the investor savvy mindset of it all. But I also want to follow your journey, right? So you're an investor. You have your family. You're employed. You have a full-time gig, full-time family. Where do you find time to even study now for bigger and better things in your life?
So very, very good question. And it's just, if you study in Nigeria, it's from my experience, it's significantly tougher than studying in Canada, because I've done both now. And there's a very, very high bar that you have to meet to pass. Back home, you have to meet that bar to pass. And coming to Canada was like, oh, it's actually
75%.
50%, if I'm not, 50%. We had large books to get through, and we had professors
to digest.
Professors that were not playing around.
Right.
And they wanted you to deliver at a very high level. So coming to Canada, I was like, oh, okay. It's stringent, it's tough, but I've already been through more fire, so to speak. So,
so you're, again, prepared.
Exactly. So I was prepared. Not that the system here isn't good. It is fantastic. It's easier because I didn't have that much pressure, and because I'd done most of that kind of stuff before at I would say, a situation of more pressure. So
now, why do you think that is, right? Do you think it's a little more strenuous back home in terms of studying and getting things done and even graduating, right? They have more kind of, what do you want to say? Not laws, but it's stricter formulas to get it done. Is it because there's less jobs out there, right? So it's like the ones that get the job, you really deserved it because you studied super hard and excelled? Or is it more so, again, there may not be so much jobs down here, but I think there's more opportunity down here, right? So maybe they open it up to more people. I don't know.
I think back home, honestly, education plays a reasonable part of you getting a job, but it's just that we just love education back home. I'm a Yoruba boy, which is a part of the culture of Nigeria. Yoruba people love education. Right. We are the ones, not that other people don't, but specifically for some reason.
You love learning.
You just love education. You're going for a master's, which I did not go for, but you need to finish university. Right. And to finish university properly, you need to come out with a very high grade, high standard. So it was just, get it done. When you come out of school, then we figured it out. But I knew that it was going to be tough to get a job once I was done with school.
Here?
No, not here, in Nigeria.
Got it.
So I had already started business while I was in school, and then used the job as...
So you came here with a little change in the bank as well?
Oh, yeah. And we had just gotten married, so thankfully had a lot of people that gave us some good gifts.
God bless.
And we had savings, and we had family here, and we had... Personally, I think I had the softest landing in Canada because my wife was here, my in-laws were here, and they're very, very loving people. So I didn't go through most of that initial
that most people go through sometimes.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so you come back now. You're working. To my previous question, you getting licensed. What was that process like? How did you study? Backstory: I went for my license a few times. Well, not a few times. This is the second time. The first time 10 years ago, I wasn't prepared, right? Maybe my mindset wasn't there, but recently I got licensed, right? So I remember that process of how to study, right? One of the best times to study. Obviously, what resources did you use to excel through it, right?
Well, I think I'll credit my wife for this mostly because I initially didn't want to get a real estate license,
Okay.
but I had in quote orchestrated this massive move to St. Thomas that had really established everyone, and she was like, you know what, get this thing done. And once I hear that, I just naturally fall into research mode, and I found this guy called Callum Moore.
That's actually how I found you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and this is what I love about Callum Moore.
He helped me 1,000% to get through my course.
Exactly. This is what it is. This is how you do it.
This is what to be prepared for.
Exactly. Simple, straight, and easy.
Yeah. Didn't waste any time.
Anytime. And it's on YouTube. I mean, and it's free. Amazing.
It's free.
You know? And then he mentions some other study aids, which I then used.
Yeah.
You know, go through the Humber College slides, and then go practice as like a madman on those things. Yeah. If I didn't get up to like 90 or 100% on each what they call those
modules.
Yeah, each of the modules, I would go start again until I got it. Because one rule I have for writing exams, I'm not going to do this 2 times.
Yeah.
You know, any pain I have to go through,
do it one time.
Do it one time and let's know it's done, because I don't have the time to do this thing 2 times.
Yeah.
So that was just the mindset. So Callum Moore and the study materials.
Did you purchase Pass It on additional?
That was what I was looking for. That was the name I was looking for. Pass It. So if I didn't get pretty much everything on Pass It, above the Pass It, because they do have
then
a
you
marker,
weren't ready.
Then I'm not ready.
Right.
Then I just keep doing it. And when I feel like I'm ready, I book the exam, and then I keep doing it up until the day of the exam. I'm exhausted.
Even the morning of.
While I'm working, I'm exhausted. I'm taking care of family. But I'm doing this once.
Yeah.
So get it done, Mr. Mac. Get it done.
Get it done, Mr. Mac. Right. So you get it done in X amount of months, right? Choosing a brokerage, right? So what's the gentleman's name that helped us out?
Callum Moore.
Callum. So Callum is with a brokerage called EXP. Their formulas they're a little different than traditional brokerages.
Yeah.
Right. So why choose where did you choose to go and why?
So basically, I wasn't a fan of going into the office. The job I had, or still have.
Are you still?
Yeah, I'm still working with them.
I love it.
So I can't do my job properly, my 9 to 5 properly, if I'm going into the office, if I'm having to go into a brokerage office, do so many different things. And once again, Callum had already moved to EXP, and it was working for him, and it was going to give me the opportunity to do this part-time.
The flexibility.
Sure. So that was just it. You know, EXP. I'm already in IT. I know how to run their systems.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's half the battle, right?
Exactly.
Again. So I work with Roller Page Signature as their marketing manager, and I do this exactly what we're doing today for agents and brokerages, right? And the hardest thing I find, or the stress that they have, anyways, it's getting started in terms of social media, right?
Yeah.
So I found you through social media, YouTube. You're doing a podcast, and you're talking about making X amount of money in your first year of real estate, right? So for clickbait purposes, the headline was how you made $100,000 in your first year of real estate, right? I want to get into that, but I also want to get into, okay, you choose a brokerage. How do you even use this social media formula to get in front of your audience? How do you make $100,000 in the first year?
And that's another thing. So while I was studying, I was doing my best to dispel all the rumors that I heard. Like some people would say, "Oh, don't worry, the brokerage will give you some leads and this and that." I'm like, look,
I'm not waiting for them.
No, if I can't even, it wasn't even something that I believed.
Right.
You know, brokerage isn't going to give you leads.
No one has.
You're on your own, man. Yeah. So don't mess around. And thankfully, I had been watching Aditya Kumasumar. He's up in Windsor. I've been watching some other guys, and there's something that Aditya mentioned specifically, that as a realtor, you need to be in front of, I think, 100 people a day.
Yeah.
Are you going to door knock 100 doors a day? No. Are you going to call 100 people a day?
Half of them don't want to.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't like cold calls in the first place. So what's the most effective way to build, I believe it's called social credit.
Right.
You know, how do you get
credibility
that done?
For sure.
And the only way in today's market, in today's ecosystem, is to get in front of a camera and do what you need to do.
Every day.
It's not going to be fun initially, especially for me. I was nervous. If you check my earlier videos, I was nervous, you know, but I'm getting more confident.
But you started exactly, so I did a little bit of a deep dive on you, and all the way back to a year. I'm sure that's exactly when you first got started. You started videos, like no wasting time.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't like,
and they gradually got better, but you didn't
Exactly.
wait. You didn't wait for it to be, you had the 4K cameras and the audio and the lights and all that. You didn't wait for that.
No.
Why?
There's no point in waiting for things like that. If you always have a good excuse to wait. There's always a valid reason to wait.
Right.
But thankfully through my businesses I've run back home, and even being in Canada, and most especially my wife and my family here, we kind of push each other. I don't need that much of a push because I've already been through a lot of fire and I know what happens when you wait. But there was just no point. We still had photography equipment, and we still have photography equipment in the house.
Yeah.
Pull up a camera, do this thing. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be perfect, but that's part of the process. You don't get good by waiting to get good.
Just do it.
You do it, and eventually, once you get into your flow, that's how you get good.
Right.
I studied Mr. Beast.
Yeah. How to do your YouTube properly.
Exactly. And every single person that I admired, and I like reading autobiographies
on the highest level.
On the highest level, exact same monster that they had to deal with. So why do you think this is going to get easier for you? What's so special about you that when you arrive and you want to do social media,
first thing first, a million views on your first days.
Exactly, and you're going to get your lighting right, and you're going to get everything sorted immediately. It's not going to happen. Get this thing done, Mr. Mac.
Step by step.
Step by step.
Step by step. One view at a time.
One view at a time.
Right. So you get your cameras, you start shooting content, you start educating your people on how to invest in Canada, which is kind of tough sometimes, right? You need capital, you need credit, you need all these things in place, right? You do a great job of breaking them down, right? So how do you actually formulate your week in terms of shooting content? Do you just pick a topic a day, shoot the content, throw it up, and move on? I know you're super busy.
Yeah, so funny thing, I actually just found out my formula last month after trying and trying and trying.
Right.
It's what I do now is I pick a series, like a topic.
Yeah.
My first topic this month or still running, so I'll just say this month is how to buy a house in Canada.
Right.
Wealth of information, wealth of things to talk about. Make it structured in a way that people can understand.
Yeah.
7 videos.
7 videos. That's a week worth.
Yeah.
Right.
Then 5 videos about related topics. So
where do you find all these questions? Are you using resources like the ChatGPTs of the world? Are you using just videos that you've seen online? Where are you finding all these questions? Because that's a tough part.
Yeah, so I take most of my inspiration from my clients.
Got it.
I don't have this...
All the questions they ask.
Yeah, pretty much. Because they ask questions and they're quite valid. And I don't want to be the suit and tie guy that gives them the robotic answer.
Yeah, running around the block. Just give me the answer.
Give me the answer. Let me know what I need to do.
Right.
And that's where that inspiration comes from. I'm literally speaking to a client anytime I'm looking in the camera.
Right.
Trying to break things down. If I don't break it down well enough, I do it again.
Because 9 times out of 10, it's one person has a question, the other 9 have the question.
Exactly.
Right.
So if it's not broken down in a way that the lay guy on the street can understand,
right,
cancel the recording.
Let's do it again.
Do it again.
Let's do it again.
Until I get it right. And over time, I got
How long? Exactly. I was going to ask that. How long does it take to get your take? 4 tries, 5 tries? Are you one hit wonder? What are you doing?
Right now, it's between 3 to 1.
Yeah. So you're getting better.
But before, it was like 6, 7, 8.
Critiquing yourself.
Exactly.
And yes, I listened, or I said this, or I did that.
You use the big word here.
Right. I don't really know the meaning of that. It was
exactly.
Right.
Amortization period.
Right.
Boom.
It's tough to explain that.
Exactly.
Right.
So I have to say, look, I say the name, this is the amortization period, but this is just the amount of time the bank is giving you to pay back.
Simple terms.
Your mortgage.
Right.
People can understand that.
Yeah.
But
you got 30 years, you got 25 years, you got X amount of years.
Exactly. If you have more money, you can shorten it. If you have less money, you spread it out.
Yeah.
Easy, simple. Don't give me a textbook definition.
I'm going to get lost. You only have 15 seconds right
exactly,
now. Right.
Exactly. So break that thing down. I'm going into I've just done my scripts for the next month. I've recorded on this camera, this DJI that I just bought because I just didn't want to keep using my phone, just to keep things more seamless. And it's how to get a mortgage in Canada.
Right.
And how much you get, how much do you need to get, I would say, what's the difference between a minimum down and 20%? The repercussions.
5% versus the 20%.
Exactly.
Right.
So I have my 7 videos, how to get a mortgage in Canada, step by step. And then I have the 5 related videos to keep things.
And are you doing long form content right now, or is it more like bite size, minute, 30
So
seconds?
I reset my strategy. First Instagram now, so bite sized. Then when I need to talk about very, very important things, when I have those topics, but trying to balance. But when I do have time to write those scripts and shoot those videos, then I take them to Instagram.
Right. So now you found your formula. You're speaking to your clients. How the hell you make 100,000 in 1 year?
Community.
Yeah.
It's I'm very, very privileged to be in an amazing community of not just Nigerians, but Brazilians for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful community. And when I started my videos, my wife has a huge following on Instagram. So sometimes she helps me.
Shout out
push.
wifey.
Yeah, shout out wifey, Faye Mac, love you. You know, and she helps me push my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, you know, my community.
Yeah.
That I got to know through them just came together, and so they were like, oh, this guy is making things easy for me to understand.
Right.
Let's keep pushing him out.
And then now your business, is it repeat clients, or are these investors that understand the industry? You know, you buy a house, 5 years, pull out, do it again kind of thing, or is it just referrals? Like, are these new clients, or are they just referral basis right now?
So the happiest moments of my life are when I get a call and they say, I watched your video. This is what I heard you say. I want to do that. So most of them are first-time
Makes you
home
want to
buyers.
shoot more, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
First-time home buyers, because there is a gap in how to buy a house.
How to get started.
There is a gap no matter what community you're in.
Yeah.
You know, and in my community, I saw that a lot of people were getting...
Because funny enough, we have money.
Yeah.
Right? People are not broke. It's tough out here. Let me preface that. But if you have, $65,000, you can do something.
Exactly.
It's not impossible.
But the problem now is, unfortunately, in every industry, you find people that just want to wreck you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And those are the types of people that people in my community
are trying to stay away from.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's very hard to tell those type of people. So I had a client that lost, I think, $70,000.
And now that's all you hear is the horror stories.
Exactly.
Right.
Horror stories, and they were afraid of getting back in. But the way I explained stuff, they were like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
Building trust.
Exactly. Social credit, So my kind of mission now is like for people in my community and outside of the larger community, how to do this thing safely. You've saved for many, many years.
Yeah.
You're $65,000, $75,000, $100,000. If you lose that money, that's not all that you lose. The seller can still come at you for more money because of opportunity costs. Let's do this thing safely.
Yeah, don't waste my time.
Exactly.
Right.
Let's set you up for more, as opposed to turning this into another horror story.
Right. Which is why I asked the repeat clients question, right? Because I know you're an investor yourself, right? So you understand, the advantages of owning a property and what you can do with it once you have it for, say, 2 to 3 years, right? Are you looking to diversify in that sense? Are you looking to get into triplexes, fourplexes? Are you looking to get into commercial properties? Are you looking to do anything other than, primary residence? Do you have anything going on right now?
Yeah, eventually I do plan to enter into the multifamily and commercial space.
Are there a lot of properties out there in London for that?
Oh yeah. Lots of fixer.
Are they selling them?
No, I'm not selling them yet, but I'm learning.
Yeah. So are those properties even up for sale?
Oh yeah. We actually just lost the deal recently. Yeah. They did the house beautiful, cleaned it up, refurbished. Everything was going good, and then they did this thing where they put a price that is obviously not what it's supposed
realistic.
to go for. Yeah, and then massive buyers came in, and then
bidding
wars, and then all of a sudden deal was gone. But those deals are available.
Yeah,
but they do require a strong stomach.
It takes a lot of time.
It takes time. It takes patience, and when you're working with tradespeople, you need to be very careful. I know there are lots of amazing guys out there, but unfortunately, what I've found is that for quite a lot of people, they're working on 4 or 5 different sites.
Right.
So they might not have enough time for you.
You may not be a priority.
You may not be a priority, and you've borrowed money from the bank, and you need to make this quick turnaround, and so many factors. So I'm just going through the paces and studying once again before getting into it myself, and then helping people get into that side of the market.
You made a good point about, tradesmen and tradespeople, talk about the importance of actually building a team and having a foundation. You know, you have your realtor. What other people should you have, especially as a first time home buyer, right? What other people should you have in your artillery to execute a deal properly, safely, you know, secure your investment and come out great on the other side?
Yeah. So realtor, obviously, you need a good mortgage agent.
Yeah.
One that will not lie to you.
Now, are you biased in terms of what's your preference really? Is it mortgage brokers, or do you go with the red bank, the blue bank, the green banks of the world?
I believe mortgage brokers do a much better job. My wife she got a license not too long ago.
There you go.
And I've worked with quite a lot of good mortgage brokers.
Yeah.
And what they do is they take things that would be, the big banks are full, you know, the big guys are full. They don't really need your business.
Right.
But
and they're not giving you favorable terms sometimes because they have so much business.
Exactly. Right. But the mortgage agents will take it's like a resume. Take your resume and share it with so many 30 different lenders. Right. And then find the best fit for your financial resume and then build out a plan that can help you grow.
Based on your objectives. Obviously.
Exactly. Based on your objectives. So it's more detailed.
Yeah.
And even though you might not always get a cash back, in the future, you understand why things were set up that way.
Yeah.
Big banks and big guys attract people with cashbacks, but obviously sometimes they're taking something much more valuable. Yeah. You know, but a mortgage agent will help you avoid those types of things and get you in a place where you can actually grow your portfolio if you want to.
Okay. You made a couple bucks over the couple of years, right?
Thankfully.
What do you praise, right? What was the first dumb thing you bought? What was the best dumb thing you bought in the last 12 months?
Funny enough, the last dumb thing I bought was right out of university when I was 19.
Yeah.
Honestly. And
that was the last thing.
Phone.
A phone?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I bought a phone, like it was a new Nokia whatever phone.
Right.
And I used a lot of money to buy it. And a new one came out and I was like, look, man, I'm no more doing this.
Yeah, I'm not playing the catch-up game.
I'm not playing catch-up anymore. So since then, it's all been save, invest. Obviously.
So right now you're a bit more conservative.
I wouldn't say
you have a family, so you can't splurge
exactly.
Too much
Plus, my wife is the financial guru.
Right.
So I follow her lead.
Bring the money in.
And tell us what we need to do.
Right.
You know, and we go from there.
Yeah.
I cannot... My conscience will not allow me to spend money on dumb things.
Yeah.
This DJI that I bought, it's an investment.
Yeah.
Even my phone is an investment. I bought this because I didn't want to have to carry stuff around. My phone keeps getting full all the time. So yeah, invest in something else, get more efficient. And as time goes on, you know, you reap the rewards and you do it again. No room for dumb stuff anymore.
So you never thought about getting that brand new...
I want a Tesla. Okay. There are lots of things that I want.
Really? Tesla? Yeah?
Yeah. Lots of things
You're
that
a
I
tech
want.
guy, so I think that
kind of fits a little bit. I'm just done with gas, honestly.
Yeah, true enough. In the next 20 years, I think it will be kind of... You think so? You think it'll be obsolete in 20 years? Gas-ish? Probably not.
Probably not. There's too much politics involved.
Right. Too much money involved.
And we as a people can't even agree on the direction we should go with fossil fuels and global warming.
Right.
So there's still going to be
going to be happening long before we're gone. Yeah. Long after we're gone.
Yeah. I think maybe in 20 years we'll see more electric vehicles on the road. Hopefully they stop catching fire.
Right.
You know, but in the end, I see the trajectory. It's not something that's going to go immediately unless we somehow, as a people, come together and say, hey, stop messing around and get this thing done. Yeah. You know, but in the next 5-10 years, a bit more uptake, but nothing so drastic that gas will go away forever.
I like it. So in the next couple of years now, it's build your actual empire.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We've been driving the same car for, 3 years? I've been in Canada for came in 2019. Yeah. This is 2024. So, yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. You know, same car, same pretty much anything.
Yeah. Just stack the bank account. That's it.
Invest. Earn and invest. Make the money work while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Stop messing around, Mr. Mac. Get this thing done.
So, you speak about investing, right? Yeah. So, quick question on investing. What are you investing in other than, real estate? Are you in the stocks at all? Are you in the crypto? I know the crypto buzz was going crazy for the last 3 years. It's a little quiet right now. Yeah. But, if people say, I guess, buy and hold is the strategy. But what are you investing in? Where are you putting your money now? You make a check for X amount of dollars, that $20,000, $15,000, $10,000 check. Where do you put that right now? Is it going into a GICs? Is it going into the checkings? Is it going to the savings? Where are you putting that?
So basically,
And for tax purposes, don't say anything crazy.
No, for sure. I get my directions from Mrs. Mac
Right.
straight. So are we doing a RRSP? Are we investing in stocks? Are we doing things to grow the money? Most of the time it's stocks and savings. Market is down, we take advantage. Market is up, we wait,
right.
And especially now that the real estate market is down, even though we haven't invested in this down market, I know I've gotten some amazing deals from some amazing
1,000%.
clients. It's insane the spread that they've gotten. So when we have the capacity to go in again, because we have some investments, when we have that capacity to go in again, definitely going back into real estate and S&P 500.
A couple of things. The basic ones that will secure your money.
Exactly. Then once we get that good war chest set up, then we can start being irresponsible.
Be a little more gambling.
Exactly.
We'll take a trip to Vegas, right?
Exactly.
No, we're not going to Vegas. Waste your damn money. Well, I appreciate you coming by. Honestly, if you have any last questions, questions for myself or anything that you want to say to our viewers and listeners, I really do appreciate you coming down here from London, Ontario. I hope we do this again. I want to see your success in the next 12 months, see where you are then, and we'll definitely collaborate this year. Any last words? Where can they find you? Where can they find you on all the socials?
Yeah, Instagram, Ayo Mac. Pretty much that's where I am most of the time. So if you get my Instagram, you get everything else. And once again, I don't want you to forget, I really appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
I think it's inspiring just to collaborate with like-minded people, right? So again, I came across, and I keep messing up his name.
Callum Moore.
Callum. I keep messing up Callum's name. Sorry, Callum. I came across Callum's video doing my studies and just listening to that. It was even like 30 minutes, 20 minutes of you guys just kind of going back and forth on your journey, right? So just listening to that inspired me to, sit down with you and kind of pick your brain, how and why and all the W questions that you had that I have, right? And I'm sure most people have those questions as well. Your first year in real estate is tough for a lot of people. 80% of people don't make a deal.
Exactly. So
credit to hear that, it's kind of like, well, how the hell did you do it? How'd you do it? Right. And it's all the things of, I think, what we're doing today, which is get in front of your people, be real, be straightfortôt, right? And make it digestible because the information I feel can be redundant. And I feel like everybody online is kind of saying the same thing. So how can you stand out and stop waiting for the perfect 4K video to get started?
There will never be a perfect 4K video. There will never be a perfect time, I've had clients that waited 6 months even just to get into the market, and we got stuff that we would have gotten a better deal if we had just gone in. So
when you should have.
Exactly. When
should have, would have, could have, though.
Right. Exactly. So it's no point waiting. It's not going to be perfect. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
There's literally no point waiting. You didn't wait to get into school. You didn't wait to do any of the monumental
just do
things
it.
You've done in your life.
Yeah.
So this is one of them. So just get it done, man.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you coming out, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, man.